Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to Wrestle AM. I am the huge one-kid idiot Dave Koco from Wrestle AM, a podcast right here you're listening to now. I don't know. I usually don't have you here, so I say Wrestle AM. Let's go to YouTube. You know what I mean? And I'm tagged up by the greatest streamer of all time at SidsLight, joining us today. And we watched 3 hours of AEW. We watched AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage. And, woo-wee. A lot has changed. Let's ask the most important question. Win, loss, or tie. What did you think of the shows? Are you grading it as one giant show? Are you grading it as 2 separate shows? And, Sid, I'll let you go first. Grading it as one long show or 2 separate shows?
One long show.
And what's your rating for the one long show?
You make me watch 3 hours of your show in a row. You get it graded as one show because you presented it as one show.
Got it.
I'm giving it a loss.
Okay. I
Too
thought,
predictable.
Yeah. We've been talking about this off the air that it's too predictable. Where like Sid will predict everything that's gonna happen step by step by step. But of course we're super nerds and all that. And it's okay to be.
I'm not that big of a super nerd anymore, though. That's my thing. I feel like I'm rusty and out of touch to where I shouldn't be able to predict your whole show.
Yeah. And my thing is, you don't want 50-50 booking. You don't want it to be, oh my God, upsets everywhere. But I think if you have 2 upsets a month, that solves that problem. I feel like not everyone should be upset, but, a raccoon from Boston shouldn't be able to predict every step of the way. And I'm definitely giving Rampage a loss, even though I thought the women's match towards the end really picked up. I'm gonna give Dynamite the weakest of wins, and since it's a weak win and a loss, we'll call it a tie. I'm just gonna call it a tie. There was some good things, there was some bad things, but I think there need to be upsets, and I think there's been a switch where I think, so many people, warranted or not warranted, want AEW to be like WWE, that it's becoming like WWE without them noticing it. Like before, AEW to me wasn't a pay-per-view company. They had pay-per-views, but it wasn't a pay-per-view company. They are straight up a pay-per-view company now. Everything's leading up to that pay-per-view.
As a casual viewer, I feel like casual viewers are probably doing great with AEW right now and WWE because you can just wait for the pay-per-view and you're fine.
Yeah. I mean,
you're missing nothing.
Yeah.
Especially in the AEW, you're missing nothing.
And I might even throw in New Japan on that. I feel like if it's not a big event, it's like the TV shows or the build-up shows do not matter. It's all the pay-per-views. And even then, maybe it's even the bigger pay-per-views. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think if WWE goes to Netflix and AEW goes to Max, it might be different because they can just end it anytime they want and they can do the pacing they want to do. But also, it could be the complete opposite. It's like, this has been going on for 8 hours tonight, So, it is a situation that we're in. There was some good, there was some bad. So overall, I give it a tie. You give it a loss. A Rampage is definitely a loss. I thought that shit was rough. All right, let's break this down as best we can, shall we? AEW Dynamite. Quick match results. AEW TNT Champions open match. Adam Copeland defeats Buddy Matthews via spear. Basically, he has to do the MJF storyline where he has to beat all 3 members of the House of Black. I'm going to say something here. And I've been saying it for a while. And I feel like every time I say it, I get booed out of the building. But as time goes on, it's like my Jericho take. As my time goes on, people are like, oh, fuck, that fat bastard's right. I don't think Edge is that good. I'm not an Edge guy. I've never been an Edge guy. I liked Edge and Christian. I never liked Edge as a solo act. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And I usually get booed out of the building. Boo! You fucking suck! I hate you! Yeah! That's what usually, the crowd response is. But
Yeah, they love that Chihuahua-looking human.
I just think it's fucking horrible. He's just so slow. It's like, holy shit, we know we got to get 3 hours. I don't know. Because I got shit too, and I thought the Randy Orton Edge match was fucking god awful. I don't know. When, outside of teaming up with Christian, when's Edge had a match where you're like, oh, that was fucking good? And I'm being genuine. I could be wrong. I'm not going to be that guy that, like, if you're like, well, you forgot about Edge Jericho on Mars. I'm like, oh, fuck, I did forget about that. We're here about being genuine voices. But, like, on the top of my fucking head, I have no idea when Edge has had a good match. Matt Hardy, that shit fucking sucked dick. I mean, I don't get it. He's the slowest fucking wrestler alive. I don't know. It's just not for me. Yeah, holy shit. It might be a loss. I forgot how fucking bad this is.
Yeah. I was a little shocked at how well you rated it.
Well, the thing is, it's Kenny. It's always Kenny. Kenny. I give Kenny a win. I love Kenny. I'm like, yeah, dude, it wasn't that bad. You had Kenny and, you had Kenny and, you had some Kenny and...
Did I mention that Kenny Omega was there?
Yeah, Kenny gets a win. AEW gets a loss.
With Kenny Omega.
Following the match, Copeland attacked Matthews, paired him with Concerto. Before the lights went out, the lights came back on. Malachi Black was in the ring. He's saying, do it, strike my friend down. And here's my thing. The more I think about it, if he struck him down, it would be a good storyline. But the lights to go out again and them gone, I don't know. I just like, what? So yeah. And then fucking what's his name comes by. Who the fuck is Edge Jr.?
Edge Jr.?
He has a match on fucking Rampage. He's only famous because his friends are famous.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Holy fuck, man. Has Kyle O'Reilly ever been good? No. I am pretty sure Kyle O'Reilly has made a fucking career of being around good wrestlers. Kyle O'Reilly comes out and he's like, hey man, I'm not that good. You're not that good, but people don't notice that. The best part of that fucking segment was that Kyle O'Reilly was looking at the title and Edge goes, my eyes are up here. I thought that part was cool. So yeah. Samoa Joe defeats Cassidy, Muscle Buster. I love Samoa Joe. I'm okay with squash matches. But the problem is that there hasn't been an upset in AEW in probably months if you don't count the pay-per-view. Next, you got the FTW Championship. Now, we went in shitty. On this one. We're like, fuck Jericho.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that.
I was ready to destroy this.
But not, I was going to say not me, but I'm not going to lie. I was fucking shitty too. And I don't know if it's Shibata. I don't know if it's Jericho tried. I don't know if it was
Shibata.
Hardcore.
It was. No, you know exactly what it was.
It was the hockey puck to the face.
It was Shibata, because every time we were commenting, it was because Shibata was doing something.
Yeah, Shibata was chopping the living hell out of him,
or getting hit with hockey pucks.
I thought
Jericho did try for sure, but
I thought this match was going to be the shittiest match. And I'll be honest, in ring, it was probably the best. It had strong style, it had stiff, and it also had bits of hardcore in it. And I don't know, dude. Maybe it's because I played a lot of hockey. Throwing a hockey puck in the face. It's pretty fucking hardcore. Big build.
I don't see how you... Both of us were in agreement about there's no world where I'd want to take a suplex or anything on top of a stack of hockey pucks.
No,
they're like big Legos. They're rock hard. There's no give in them. I'm telling you, that's what gained us respect for them. You can't fake the chops. You can't fake how shitty laying on a fucking hockey puck is.
Yeah. And here's the thing, we've been talking about Chris Jericho a lot. Do you think if he keeps putting effort like this in, or picking his opponents right, do you think the learning tree gets over? The match
I don't know.
the match does end with Big Bill running out and tackling him, and later Big Bill joins the learning tree. Um, Here's the thing. I think Jericho should be retired, but he has recreated himself. Do you think being the learning tree can save Chris Jericho?
No.
Do you think getting the shit kicked out of by Shibata every fucking week for the rest of his life can save Chris Jericho?
No, because that's only going to work on us for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we enjoyed the fuck out of this match, even though fucking Notre Dame over there is like, oh yeah, Big Bill's gonna come in and help him, which it is pretty obvious, but I'm okay with, I'm okay with obvious sometimes, but
Yeah.
you
Sometimes
gotta
you
have
need
an
obvious.
upset. You gotta have an upset here and there. You have to. You know what I mean?
There
It's
has
like,
to be some surprise. There has to be some what if.
yeah. And I know I'm really high on Pro Wrestling Noah right now. I think they do
And
a good
hold
job with
on.
the
As
upsets.
as a great point, what event is largely considered one of the biggest winning moments in the Monday Night Wars?
Mick Foley winning the title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an upset type thing happening on the weekly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I feel like that's a critical lesson that's being just missed.
And you don't want 50, and I want to make this because I feel like people sometimes twist words, especially, on the internet machine. We don't want 50-50 booking, and we don't want upsets all the time. That's WWE and New Japan. We want, I think the perfect is, and the upset level is pretty good in Pro Wrestling Noah. They do 2 big upsets per month. And then the fans like, holy shit, I can't believe it. I think that's good. What do you say per month upset ratio? What's your upset ratio? Because if everyone gets upset, it's ghetto booking and everyone's 500 and that's shit. And you don't want 50-50 booking. So what
You just have to
is
have them happen sometimes. You have to have I think at least one per pay per view cycle. You have to have some kind of upset. It doesn't have to be a champion. It just you have to make it where there's a chance that something could happen other than what's obvious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If it's
Understandable.
always the obvious, then there's no surprise.
So it still fits the obvious thing, but it was the result wasn't shocking. The effort was by Jericho.
Yeah.
Next, you have 2 giant fucking dudes beat the living shit out of you. You got, not you, but each other. Claudio defeats Brian Cage. I just think these guys should fucking be rewarded more than they are, but it's hard because it's such a giant roster. I feel like Brian Cage, Jeff Cobb, and others around the world are getting lost in the shuffle, and they really shouldn't. And yeah, I enjoyed this match a lot, and I thought it more should come from it. Well, what's your thoughts on it?
It was okay.
Yeah, I also like the fact that Tiger Mask was based off a wrestler, and then became an anime. The anime inspired tons of wrestlers, Tiger Mask in all different versions, and that Tiger Mask inspired King, and King inspired Cage. Now we have to make a video game character about Cage. It'll come full circle, or an anime. Next, you got Serena Deeb defeated Mariah May via single leg crab. I thought the thrown in a towel was a nice touch by the champ. I'm enjoying this. I thought out of all the matches, this was the hardest one to predict, but it was still pretty easy to predict. And yeah, overall, I enjoyed this match. It was a solid women's match, and I feel like we've been talking about it for a while. The AEW's women's roster has improved tremendously, and slowly but surely, it looks like their booking is better. So, and now that they can work with Stardom, it should be more interesting to see what happens. What
It
was your
seems like
thoughts?
they're an upward trajectory for sure.
Yeah,
That they because the way I've been viewing it, and I think we had agreed, was basically the point where the new writer and Mercedes debut is more of like the clean slate for the women's division. is more of like a clean slate for Judgment of the women's division, because we know that's a big changing point for them. And it seems like that's been the case. It feels like they've been setting up stuff to try and start. It doesn't feel like they're up and running at all, but it feels like they're setting the basis for what could be a very good women's division, like story wise and stuff. It seems like they're setting it all up to start going, and I think that's great. I think within a few pay-per-views, I think their women's division is really going to be one of their shining parts, at least in their weekly.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a little bit of cold.
No problem.
Evil Young Bucks is hilarious. They get a W. They start off the show saying why they can't get fired and have a new opening, and it's all of them and their friends. I just thought it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Evil Bucks is probably the best thing going today. And the crazy part about Evil Bucks is it's right there where people are either going to love or hate them. You know, I feel like Young Bucks fans and indie fans and pro wrestling fans, basically non-WWE fans, or that's not fair, non-WWE sweaties, as Wrestling Rant would say, are enjoying the living shit out of it. And those people are just hate watching, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever hate watched anything. I've oh, should I give up on this watched? I don't think I've ever hate watched. You know, like, you're like, oh man, I've been watching it for 20 years. I don't know if I should quit watching it. Or, hey man, I've been, you know, when it comes to Monday Night Raw, MCU, like I've done should I stop watching, but I've never hate watched. Have you ever hate watched anything?
No, because
Yeah.
well, the last of there was part of Game of Thrones where I was hate watching it
Yeah, but did you hate it in the
because I was
beginning?
so invested. No,
Yeah, see,
I
I don't
was
consider
so
that hate
invested.
watching.
I knew it was the last season, and
Yeah.
I was just angrily watching to see how much more they'd fuck it up.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if that's I don't consider that hate watching because you were along for the ride and you're like, fuck, I've been here so long. I think that's holding on too long. You know what I mean? Hate watching to me is like if we started if you know, example, if there's a wrestling company called fucking everythingcocohates.net and I'm like, man, I don't really like this. I better watch it and fucking review it or hate it. I don't know. I've never done that. I've done the hang on too long thing. I think I'm that way with the MCU right now. So, and I guess for Game of Thrones, you hung on too long. So,
Oh yeah,
but yeah. But there are people probably hate watching the Young Bucks. And I'm like, why?
people hate watching all wrestling.
Yeah, yeah. You ever notice, you ever meet that one fan?
I hate watch Rampage every week.
I think you're just forced to watch Rampage.
It's true. I hate it.
The thing is, if Rampage isn't tacked on to one of the big shows, you don't have to watch it. But if it's tacked on to the big show, you're like, fuck me, man. And the funny thing is,
I'm going back to Dynamite's only.
The fucked up part is, I think it broke me. Because I'm like, you know, like, I'm man, it's 3 hours. What does it fucking matter? Oh, it fucking matters. It matters. Rampage used to be good, though. There was this time. You said the first 5 weeks Rampage was good. I think when they were doing AAA and New Japan title matches with ROH, when, you know, the titles were more a little rare on television, I thought that was a good
for
spot
like
for
5
Rampage.
weeks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure of the weeks, but Rampage used to be one of my favorite shows. And, well, not now.
God,
Not now.
your bar was so low.
Christian Cage versus Swerve Strickland for AEW title announced for AEW Double or Nothing. I don't know how I feel about this. I love both wrestlers, but I don't know. I don't know.
I do too, but I feel like it's obvious that Cage isn't gonna. Sorry, Cage isn't gonna take the title from Swerve already.
Yeah, I kind
But
of agree
it
with
feels like that would have been that way with anyone. So
Yeah.
no matter what you did, this was a filler.
And Serena Deeb versus Maria May is announced for AEW Double or Nothing. I don't see. Is it for? No, Tony Storm. There's a typo. So Serena Deeb will challenge Tony Storm for the AEW Championship. I love that. Like I go to websites because I have a bad memory, and then the websites have typos. I kind of stopped mentioning what website I'm reading off of for moments like that. Current card for AEW Double or Nothing. Yeah, Christian Cage versus Swerve Strickland. Will Ospreay versus Roderick Strong. Serena Deeb versus Timeless Tony Storm, Mercedes Monet versus Willow Nightingale. And it's weird because out of all the ones we're talking about, there could possibly an upset. I feel like Willow Nightingale, the champion, would be a little bit of an upset, you know? So, I don't know. This is interesting. This is interesting. I feel like they're becoming a pay-per-view company and they're listening to people that won't watch the show anyway. So, Will Ospreay versus Roderick should be really good. So, we'll see. Orange Cassidy states Chuck Taylor suffered in-ring career-ending injury at Saturday's Rampage show. It's crazy that we just assume it's kayfabed. Like, if this is the end of Chuck Taylor and we're just like, whatever, dude, that'd fucking suck. I'm hoping it's just kayfabe. I just thought about it. There's a good chance if this isn't kayfabed, his career might be over. And I think, especially us, but most of the world's like, all right, whatever. Like, I hope it's kayfabe. And then you got Orange Cassidy versus Trent Beretta. I'm just not feeling it. And next Dynamite, we got Adam Copeland's back versus Brody King. Oh man,
Why are we reading the advertisements for next week?
I just fucking get it because next is Rampage. You want to go right to Rampage, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, I want to get Rampage over with and out of my system.
Orange Cassidy, there we go. We got that going down. That match we already talked about it. And yeah, so that's it. Kenny King. I mean, not Kenny King. Sorry, Kenny Omega. Does an update, and I don't know. I love Kenny so much that I was like fucking hooked, and I think this was the best segment because we thought we're either gonna cry or pump our fists, but I feel like this is a little bit of both. You know what I mean? It's like we had a little bit of crying, a little bit of pump fists, but Kenny Omega says he's gonna come back. I love the face to face with Okada. And then they get attacked, and then the Young Bucks take him to the back, attack him some more. Here's the thing. FTR made the save, and Sid, can you vouch how much I popped thinking it was Ibushi and how disappointed I was when it was FTR?
Way too much.
I was like, Ibushi! Who the fuck is this? Why are CM Punk's friends out here? Well, Ibushi did tweet that he's like, this time I'll save you. I was like, God damn it, please be healthy. Please be healthy. Please be healthy. And we've said this before, and I feel like it's happening again. If Kenny fucking leaves, I think I might be gone. I mean, you got Will Ospreay, but I think Kenny is the heart and soul, and he's been gone. I was kind of hoping he would be more of a leadership role so we could at least see him on television. I don't know. In Japan, AEW is always Kenny's company. They don't even say All Elite Wrestling. They say, oh, AEW, Kenny's company? So, he is beloved here. So, and his streams are absolutely fantastic. All right, to Rampage. Jay White defeats Dante Martin. Holy fuck. Guys, here's the thing. We know wrestlers mail it the fuck in on Rampage, but this was after Dynamite. People were still like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I've been known as a Jay White hater, and I was like, maybe I was too harsh on him. I don't know. I don't think so. That was a fucking rough match. That shit. Oh, ooh. He's Edge with abs. He's Edge with abs. I don't know. I might be being too harsh on it, but I just feel like the effort wasn't there. And what the fuck? Why do they have... All right, listen, guys. You have too many titles that me and Sid, who watched... How many hours of AEW did we watch last week? 10? 20?
Too fucking many. Too fucking many.
All right, there was 5 hours for the pay-per-view. 5 hours for the pay-per-view. 2, 3... So we watched over 10 hours and talked about it for another 2. So let's say 12 hours of our life was AEW. So, we're pretty fucking locked on to this fucking product, good or bad, Kayfabe-wise, we don't know what's going on in the back. I don't think we even care that much. But,
I don't.
Fucking, kayfabe-wise, we're pretty locked on. Why does Jay White and his friends have 3 belts? Does anyone know where the 3rd belt came from? Are they fucking working to independence? Like at first I was like, oh man, they got 2 belts. Wait, they got 3. And then like it was fucking bugging me so much. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. In the comments, if you know why they have 3 belts, congratulations. You win a high five whenever you come to Yokohama. Sid, what would you give someone if they could tell us why they have 3 belts?
Congratulations, you're more invested into that shitty product than I am.
Kyle O'Reilly, we were shitting on him the whole time. Defeated Rocky Romero. And TBS Championship. I feel like this was the best match, but by default. There was a really bad chair spot, but there was also a lot of great stuff. And also, Sky Blue started bleeding for no reason. Like, even commentary's like, we don't know why. So you got TBS Championship Manitoba Massacre match. Willow Nightingale defeats Sky Blue. I'm glad that the announcers were putting it over a little bit by saying, oh, she might take that spot at the pay-per-view. I'd rather have that than a non-title match. So there was barbed wire, there was tacks, there was tables. Overall, it was pretty fun. A little complaint though, and this has nothing to do with the women in the ring. Triller, go fuck yourself, dude. We're paying for
Agreed.
Triller. This is like the second or third time.
It's the third.
Third? It's the third time Triller has.
And it's not, and we're not talking like the third time over months. We're talking like the third time out of like 4 or 5 different viewings.
Yeah. They cut it off before the end of the match. So we are paying for the AEW thing. I do not like to pirate unless I don't have access to it. That's where I stand. Like, if I have access to it, I'll pay for it. If I don't have access to it, arg! That's just me. But we are paying for AEW, and Triller has cut it off 3 times with a short amount of time, and we have to go pirate the ending. That is insane. Having your viewers who pay for a product still have to pirate it, that is fucking bonkers. Bonkers, Triller. Get your shit together. Triller used to be really good. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And it's funny because the international people used to get bonus matches. Now we don't even get the finish. We don't even get the finish of the show. It's like, no finish for you. So there you go. And I think that's it as far as that. Both of the ratings are up. So positive. If you're a ratings guy, Rampage and Dynamite both go up. They are competing against NHL and NBA playoffs. But here's the thing. You know, everything's positive until this. 700,000 people watched Dynamite. And Rampage dropped to 431,000. But that's not a different day. That means that many people turned it off. And if you
no shit, it's Rampage. Nobody cares about Rampage, dude. I don't know why they think people care.
I agree with you with that. But if you're going to have a 3-hour block, just call it Super Dynamite or Rampage Dynamite or Dynamite Rampage. And try to keep those fans watching. Because after Kenny goes off the air, that means when Kenny goes off the air, we lost. I'm not part of it, but they lost 270,000 viewers. That's fucking math. It's like, dude, it's not like it's a different day. That many people just said, fuck it, it's over. Kenny's off. Jay White, I don't know. It's positive that the viewers are up. That's a positive thing. It's negative that many people just said, fuck it, it's over. So, anything else you want to add?
No, it's your shows are predictable. They're garbage, Tony. I hate watching your fucking weekly wrestling show. I don't know why you've turned it so bad is beyond me. I used to love Dynamite.
Yeah. My theory is, and I have
I don't know what it was like to be a fan of wrestling when Super Cena was around. And I know wrestling overall is much better right now. And I know 100%. The pay-per-views are still great.
Yeah.
I have to feel like this must have been what it was like to be around during Super Cena, where you just knew what was going to happen, and it makes it entirely pointless to watch it every week.
Well, as an older person that didn't stop watching wrestling, Hulk Hogan and Super Cena had something in common. When they came on, the show was over. Like, it was, all right, they won, and it's starting to become that way a little bit here. And I think it's easy fix. It's 2 upsets a month. Just have two upsets a month. And here's the thing. I understand you want to have pay-per-views and people pay. But if you have 400 million fucking titles, and this is a WWE thing, AEW thing, New Japan thing. If you have 400 million fucking titles, there should be a title match every fucking show and once a month on free television. Or the equivalent of free television, in New Japan World. You should have a title change. Either that or get rid of titles. And how the fuck does Jay White have 3 titles? How does he have 3 titles? Where does their title come from? Someone in the comments like, actually, he won it. It's like, all right, yeah. I don't know. We're just a little burnt out. 2 upsets. And one more thing. I don't know if I'm repeating myself. I do have a theory, though. I think he's listening to the critics way too much. And he's trying to win over fans that will never watch him. He's trying to win over the Eric Bischoffs and the Bully Rays. They're never going to watch you. They're never going to like you. Oh, that's not true. They'll like you when the TKO stops paying them. But until TKO stops paying them, they're never going to like it. It's just too easy to beat you up and get views. So stop listening to them. That's my attitude. Any last words before I let you go, Mr. Sid?
Nope.
All right. Check him out on the Twitch machine at SidsLight. He's at SidsLight everywhere. I will be doing some Noah videos, and I might even do a TNA video. Andy Paps, you better write down, I was fucking here for a TNA video. I'm only going to review 1 match, because God forbid if you review more than 1 match. Anyway, Sid, I love you, brother. Did you like, comment, subscribe? With that, I am over.